bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence for my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. Fair Gama stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead president and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Patience thinner than a penny hoe.
Rub your hand up to your pockets. I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you. Get over here. Who's gonna get this?
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry now for Alex Collins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Flacco here on 2nd down. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Telvin Smith in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Flacco from the gun. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by Malcolm Butler.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. There's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. On second down, it's Bell. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Bell so light on his feet. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll pitch it out to Bell. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Jack 16. Snickers, you got to spin.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On second down, Roethlisberger. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tyus Bowser in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Third and 2, now Roethlisberger. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. 2nd down, Flacco now. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Throwing here on first down. Flacco drops it underneath for Collins. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to...
On second down, Flacco to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking for 2 yards here on third down. Flacco. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. First carry for James Conner. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A give to Bell. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, here's Bell. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
And the Ravens taking the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Flacco. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating off play action, Flacco. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Going deep. It's caught at the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving.
He's got a man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. They may be all of that. I'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting rate. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Deep.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Flacco. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Flacco. And able to find John Brown. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has a slide and find open space to throw.
On 2nd down, Collins, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Eli Rodgers, his first touchdown on the year. And the interception by the Steeler D leads to a touchdown. Boswell good with the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Flacco, off play action. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The give is to Bell, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And the Steelers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Jack 16. Blue 30. Okay.
Now Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Again, it's Bell. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in.
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Flacco from the gun. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make the play on the football.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Bell. And some room to work. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now the toss to Bell running right. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. So 1st and goal. 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt. It's
a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. 1st and 10 here for Flacco. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. He is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. On second down, Flacco to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
A red zone first down for Flacco. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Flacco. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here we go. 4th down, 4th quarter. Flacco. And that is incomplete. Good coverage that time by Malcolm Butler. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 46 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Bell. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. On 3rd down. It's Bell, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time."
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pick.
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now it's Flacco. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, Flacco. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, "Tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it."
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. This is Bell, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Bell, and he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Steelers, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
introduction really necessary. Get the message like a secretary. Boy, I'm legendary. When I'm dead and buried, still be kicking flavor in the cemetery. Trap music originator. Fresh off of my hiatus. Yelling you to all my haters. They skywalk, I'm Darth Vader. Promise I don't give a about them. Let them out anywhere till a $1 million. Yup, like in the Kango Anna. New Cadillac with an all-go hammer. Numbers I remember out of Atlanta. I can give a about a dog. Used to getting things from a chat, so I count setting numbers in the hood. Do what I say, do. Tell break bread, a fake dead, a bit to hate that. 50 million, you die to make that middle. You vote for Trump, see me outside, well, you know what's up. I ain't hearing no peace talk, ain't funny, no hee-haw. Like the Black Panther week to the teeth, try me weak. Swear to God, I could have been Freddie Gray or Mike Brown, getting down with a homie and a half a. Let me buy Sandra Bland. This is why you're challenging with the running man. I would challenge with a hand. What you see before you, what they told you from nothing, man. Grand hustle over everything. And hit the king like an 18-wheeler in and out of air lane. Never been a part of the in crowd. Got a problem with me, I said, y'all got the same friend that I came in with, ducking all that lane. Hey, everyone that knows on go. I rolled in a 4x4. Believe if a cat gon' go see me with ain't gon' see them no more. They love when I talk, they roll by the car lot when bought it. Call case with the case and a phone. They will watch you give it that. I live that they rapping back, catching them back what they capping back. Bankroll mama, we know it did. We cashing out, we bagging that. Stacking up, there's zero. Certified neighborhood hero. You can try one of them. Better not try with me though. Hey.
Bring it in. Roll it down by 2. We're gonna go out here, run this play for the win. Let's go get it. I formation, 28.